Hey Trekkies, it's summer, and you know what that means. It's time for Creation Entertainment's Trek to Las Vegas 2025. This year, the convention has been expanded to a 5-day schedule, August 6th through the 10th at the Rio Las Vegas Hotel. Meet all your favorite Star Trek pros in one place, and hey, maybe you swing by Vic's Lounge and you see our panel. It's a great way to meet people in person and have some fun with your fellow Trekkies. If you can't make it to Star Trek Las Vegas, of course, there's also other events around the country this year. Trek to Orlando, August 23rd through 24th. There's the Trek to New Jersey, September 6th and 7th. And finally, the Trek to Chicago, November 22nd and 23rd. We're looking forward to meeting as many of you as we can this year. So make sure that you get ready to trek to Las Vegas.
Is this thing on? Hello, hello. Welcome to Open Pike Night, the Strange New Worlds podcast where your personal logs are the prime directive. I'm your host, John T. Bolds, here tonight with our wonderful callers on stage to help us discuss all the new news in the universe of Star Trek. But first, let me introduce my co-hosts, the man who would sacrifice it all to spend 4 years at Starfleet Academy, Jesse Bailey.
Especially now that we know that Oded Fair is going to be there. Like, I would do anything to spend 4 years with Oded Fair.
Absolutely. And the man who is so excited about everything coming soon to Trek that he forgot to come to this recording, Cameron Harrison, is not here with us tonight.
Not only that, but I heard that he doesn't like Oded Fair, and he does not even like 1999's The Mummy. Can you believe that?
No, he doesn't. He says they're just bland and just forgettable actors in that movie. Yeah.
Breaking my heart.
It's really too bad, Cam's opinions on movies. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, tonight we're going to be discussing all the news about Trek that has been revealed recently, mostly at San Diego Comic-Con, and discuss what's coming up for Open Pike Night while we still wait for more Strange New Worlds for, I'm hoping we can say 10 more months at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's got to be late May. If they push it to June, I'm going to be pretty surprised.
I'll be surprised. I'll be a little upset. But, yeah. I mean, like, at this point, it's not even real, right? Like, even seeing the new clip, I was like, I still have to wait so long to see the rest of this episode. Yeah. Like, but, you know, they did something similar with the Ortega's clip from season 2. So, I don't know. You know, the big question is Paramount Plus going to even exist as
this is true
separate app on your device by the time this season comes out? Like, I have confidence we'll get to see the season. I just am not super confident what banner it will be under.
On Tubi. Okay, so we've got Thursdays next year. Thursdays are May 22nd, 29th, June 5th, June 12th. I'm going to say right now, I know we've danced around guessing. I'm going to say I think it's May 29th. 2025.
Did you say June 9th?
June 5th or June 12th?
Okay, I'm going to guess June 5th because I'm trying to be not a pessimist, but like I don't want to get hurt again, you know?
Yep. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. So yeah, we're going to be talking about all the things that we got treated to when San Diego Comic-Con was going on. And I think first up, we're going to start with the Section 31 trailer. Do you want to start with our call about that first, or do you want to start with or our call associated with that, or do you want to start with just talking about the trailer?
I have to just ask you, John, because I think the day it dropped, I asked if you guys had seen it, and both of you were like, we have jobs and real life, man. And I was like, okay. That's fine, but I need you to watch this trailer. So, John, what's your initial reaction to the Section 31? And let's not call it a trailer. It's a teaser, okay?
It is a teaser. It's a minute and a half, 40 seconds. Yeah,
there's a lot in it, but it's a teaser.
There's a lot in it, and I feel, I mean, it is confusing. It's confusing to me. I'm excited to see Michelle Yeoh come back, and man, is this a quippier, jokier trailer than I ever would have expected. But I am reminding myself that Star Wars has done something similar. They made Rogue One. They made a movie not about, the Skywalker family. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a movie not about the Enterprise, not about the crew. So I know it's a TV movie, but it's a movie, and that worked, and we didn't see a lot of the clips that were in the trailer in the movie. So I'm kind of hoping we don't see a lot of the clips from this trailer in the movie.
Well, I think that's a good stance to take. And on top of that, they released this at San Diego Comic-Con, right? Like, they're looking for a broad appeal piece of editing work, right? They're not looking to go, let's lock in the Trekkies, right? Because they know the Trekkies are going to watch it. They may not love it, but they're going to watch it. Like, even if it's just to comment on it, So it's hard. The guys at It's Got Star Trek were talking about how trailers these days are like, it's kind of been a lost art form, especially.
It is, yeah.
Especially now that Don LaFontaine isn't around to lend his voice to the trailers. But like,
which, by the way, if you've never seen the Jerry Seinfeld trailer with Don LaFontaine recording for the Jerry Seinfeld trailer, you need to go look that up. It is a brilliant trailer.
It really is. But their point is accurate. Like, trailers now are not like, oh my gosh, I wonder what this movie is about, with a few exceptions. I wonder what the rest of this story is. I need to know what these characters do next. It's like, here's what this movie is like, and if you like that kind of movie, you should see this movie. And it's just different to how trailers were like when I was a kid, and I'm sure when you were a kid, which isn't necessarily bad, but it does change how I personally, at least, interact with trailers, right?
Yeah.
I don't need to see trailers for most of the movies that I'm going to see, because I got excited when I heard who was making them, or I got excited when I heard who's in it, right? Like, I don't really need a lot of trailers. But this teaser, I mean, to your point, it's wacky.
Mm-hmm.
But my initial thought to it was like, okay, this is fun looking. Like, it seems like they decided we want this to be fun. And it's probably a valid complaint to say, like, why are they using Giorgio's character for something that's meant to be fun? But I'm willing to wait to find that out, Like,
but Empress Giorgio wasn't like always dour and serious. I mean, she wasn't Mirror Lorca. She did have, she was teasing. She did like to make fun of people. So
right.
I can accept that. I think it was just more like, wow, but I like your point that it was for a Comic-Con. It wasn't a Star Trek convention. It was for a Comic-Con group.
Right.
And if you don't know Star Trek, you certainly don't know anything about Section 31.
Right.
And so
you saw Michelle Yeoh and a Beyonce track, and like, that's going to hype a lot of people up that don't know what this is. So like, completely understand. I will say it does look like there is one of like the old school changeling characters, like the character played by Iman in Star Trek 5.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
It looks like we're getting one of those aliens.
Is that dude a Borg or not? Or is he just wearing, like...
Is it an exosuit? Like,
because he has a facial appliance on in one shot, but not in another shot, and
then there's a shot where I think it's the same guy, and it looks like he's wearing like a slimmed down power suit or something, and I'm like,
and which reminds me of the Edge of Tomorrow or Live Die Repeat power suit. So I'm like, is Section 31 going to be getting involved in the Edge of Tomorrow universe? Because I'll take that movie again and again and again and again and again, which makes sense for that movie. So
give literally anybody a helicopter blade as a sword, and I'm here for your movie. I don't care.
Exactly.
I'm a simple creature, and I'm fully willing to admit that.
All right, well then,
yes, let's go ahead and hear from our first caller, because I don't want this to just be us. I want it to be the whole audience.
Absolutely. And here is our good buddy Trev.
Hey, it's Trev beaming in from Failed Letter Franchise, the podcast devoted to failed movie franchise starters. So I really hope I'm not going to be the bummer on this episode, but you asked for our thoughts on the Star Trek Comic-Con news this year, and I have to admit, I found the whole thing kind of underwhelming. Unfortunately, I did not share your optimism and excitement for the season 3 clip from Strange New Worlds. I don't know. I kind of did fall in that camp that I felt like the whole thing about, behavior as a genetic trait to feel honestly borderline racist and certainly not in the spirit of Trek. And it really did feel like a misunderstanding of Vulcans and how they learn to purge their emotions. It's not an ingrained thing in their DNA. So I'm hoping there's more to it. I know it's just a clip, and I do have faith in this crew and this show. I'm hoping there's more than we saw, but that clip really did rub me kind of the wrong way. Section 31, I'm not a huge fan of how obsessed with Section 31 this current era of Trek is, and I wasn't a huge Discovery fan, but I love Michelle Yeoh, and I thought the idea of her headlining a Trek movie was really cool, so I was kind of optimistic about it, but the trailer really did have this cheap TV movie look to it that really left me underwhelmed there as well. The workplace comedy, I really like Tawny Newsome. I think it's an interesting idea. I love that the Kurtzman era is trying to do all these different kinds of Trek shows we wouldn't expect. But I have to admit, it's not an announcement that got me really excited. I'll wait and see on that one, but it wasn't super exciting for me. And that's the thing. I really think the one Trek show that all the fans, or at least the majority of the fans, are really waiting to hear about and want to see get the green light is Star Trek Legacy. And it really disappoints me that they are not doing so. And they don't even talk about it. There was no, they weren't asked about it. Nobody spoke of it at the panel. And I thought that was really unfortunate. And I know there's a lot of behind the scenes speculation about why that show might not be happening. I know Terry Matalas has gone off to Marvel to do the Vision show. I'm really kind of worried that ship has sailed. And I think that's the biggest bummer for me, as it seems to be the one thing that most Trek fans want to hear about. And for whatever reason, they don't seem to be moving forward with it. So yeah, ultimately, Starfleet Academy. I love Paul Giamatti and Holly Hunter being there. But ultimately, the whole thing was a little underwhelming for me. But hey, I'm still a Trek fan. I'm not jumping ship, not abandoning the fandom, not abandoning this show. So hopefully, like I said, I'm not the only bummer here. And hopefully all the other callers found it more exciting than I did.
Okay, two things here. First of all, Trev, we are very happy to have you aboard. And you are one of my favorite kinds of fans. The people that I try to be like and often fail, where you look at a thing for what it is and not for, what you hope it's going to be. That's really, really difficult for me to do, and I'm working on it, okay? But I think a lot of the fandom shares your opinion on this Strange New World Season 3 clip. Yes, these characters are coming across as a little bit racist, and the reason that I am waiting for the context of this episode to decide whether this is a swing and a miss or if it's them trying to address that is because we just don't know. Like you said, it's just a clip. We don't have the context of it. I could very easily see them using this as a way to have Spock be able to show the crew, look, this is not cool. You can't reduce somebody to their, biracial identity and then color everything they do with that. But we don't know if that's what they're doing or if they're just going to do hey, it's a funny Vulcan episode because we do those once a year. So I'm really eager to see the rest of that episode because I want to believe that the writers, especially the folks that we've spoken to, and the directors, the folks that we've spoken to, understand that they have a responsibility to be conscious of those things when they're telling these stories. The other part of me is we know Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonso Myers are playing in a 1960s Star Trek sandbox, and they love to do that. Yeah. And a huge part of 1960s Trek is Dr. McCoy pretty much just being an open racist on the bridge all the time to Spock. Does that give it a pass? No. But what I'm saying is I think I could see this going either way for those two reasons, right? A lot of the new crop of creatives understand the responsibility, and it seems like sometimes the showrunners are more I just want to play with my Star Trek toys, and I want it to feel like the Star Trek when I was growing up. So I'm interested to see where that balance lands. Other than that, man, you're not excited for a Tawny Newsome live-action Star Trek comedy? Did you not watch those old scientists? Come on.
Let's not respond to everything. We have other callers who call about this stuff too. But
no. But
yeah,
Trev, Trev has a good considered opinion. Yeah, I think that's going to end up being divisive. It has been divisive. I'm excited to see what it is. When we see our first clip, I think I'll know if I'm there for it or not.
Well, they gave a little bit of an overview, right?
Yeah, they sort of explained what they want it to be. I believe it's 2 employees, I'm going to guess on Risa,
or something like it. Yeah.
who didn't know that they were being filmed and suddenly discover that. Like,
So it's the Trekman show.
I mean,
Yeah.
to me, it sounds straight out of Lower Decks. So I'm ready to love it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're-
It would definitely be something the lower deckers would watch. Like,
Yeah.
on the Cerritos. Yeah.
And they have me as a fan to lose. Like, I think that's generally where I come from, is like, I'm willing to give all of this a chance. And if I don't come out beaming on the other end, that's fine. Because as Trev also said, we're getting a ton of swings here. The last thing I'll say for Trev's call is Legacy. Do we know if Metalis pitched that show? Or did he just like put in all these little pieces and hope that the fans would demand it get made? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel like watching season 3 of Picard, which I have plenty of my own complaints about, and they are available publicly. I feel like Terry Metalis was asking us all to do the work for him. I don't know if he actually pitched the show, is what I'm saying. So
I don't either.
It might not be that Paramount said no. It might be that he didn't ask. And the whole Paramount thing, again, we were told no new shows are going to get greenlit right now during this shopping period. It could just be that all these other shows were in the pipeline already. And once the money surrounding Paramount settles down, maybe then Terry will have a chance to pitch Legacy. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, Marvel isn't a bad place to head right now.
For real.
It might be getting its second rejuvenation here after Deadpool and Wolverine. So we'll just have to see. Well, we did have a write-in from our buddy David Jones. He said, "Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. It was a great day of content announced for the Trek franchise. Can't see what was filmed for season 3 of Strange New Worlds, and I hope you all enjoy Section 31 when it comes out." And I'm pretty sure David Jones is in Section 31. Yeah.
Absolutely. We've been talking a little bit behind the scenes. He hasn't shared anything special with me that that other people don't already know. But yes, our friend David Jones is in Section 31. I believe there was a screen cap where you can see him in the desert. And I believe that was not an AR wall, if I'm not mistaken. So
nice.
We will see when that comes out.
We're going to give that a big hell yeah, David Jones.
100%.
Yeah.
Just so cool to have somebody that's even close to Star Trek, like that we count among our listeners and callers and friends. So thank you, David.
Yes, absolutely. All right, next up we have Starfleet Academy. We had a bunch of casting news about that. Yeah, we had Tig Notaro, Oded Fair, Barry Wiseman, and Robert Picardo obviously announced for popping in to join the cast of Starfleet Academy, some as regulars, some as guest stars. And then, of course, we had Holly Hunter and Paul Giamatti. I mean, that's some big star power to bring to this show. And, I mean, people have been asking for an Academy series since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like, I remember hearing, like, in the DS9 Voyager days, people were like, oh, man, it'd be cool to see, like, an Academy show. I'm sure they're thinking more 90210 than what we're going to get. But,
yeah.
Hey, you might get the kids hanging out at the SS Peach Pit and your USS Peach Pit and jamming out to, I don't know. I can't remember what music was on 90210, but it was certainly early 90s, that's for sure.
Yeah, I can't either because I was 4. But I mean, Holly Hunter, you put Holly Hunter in basically anything, I'm going to give it a good college try. Like, I don't care what the premise is. I don't care what year it's set in. I'm going to watch it, right? And, yeah, Paul Giamatti, like, there's, on top of all the characters that we already love, of course, the biggest surprise, I think, being that Robert Picardo is coming back as the Doctor. And the thing that I'm most excited for about Academy is that it is not Kirk and Spock at the Academy. I know a lot of people have wanted that show, and I'm kind of the mindset that, like, look, you don't got to explain every moment of their entire life leading up to what we know, like that was kind of my main problem. For example, with Furiosa, it was gorgeous to look at and I loved being back in that world, but I didn't need like step-by-step explanation everything that happened in the history of the Fury Road continuity, right? Like some of what was so fun about Fury Road was that it was just there, and you could intuit all of that stuff by watching Fury Road. So I'm really excited for the Academy show to be set in this Discovery future where we don't have a set timeline of events and we don't necessarily have character canon constraints that we have to work around. I think this is the best possible place they could have set the Academy show.
Absolutely. And we have another caller here, Melanie, to talk about that some more.
Hi guys, here's Melanie. You asked about reactions concerning all the Trek news. Guys, what do you want me to say? It's great that there will be many new projects. The more Star Trek, the better. But let's start with Section 31. Michelle Yeoh, the Oscar winner in a Trek movie, on streaming, so cool. Even if the trailer seems loud, chaotic, filled with action and stuff, it's only a trailer. Who knows what it will be like in the end? I'm looking forward to it. Academy guest stars? Tilly! Where can I sign up for a Starfleet Academy? I'll probably be one of the oldest recruits, but I will make it through, I swear. All I want to be is the best pilot like Ortigas is. Live action Star Trek comedy? Okay, let's see what this will be like. But again, why not? Sounds funny and we all could use a laugh more now and then. I'm honestly game for everything. All I hope for is that Strange New Worlds will get many, many seasons with Captain Pike in the chair. And concerning the Strange New Worlds trailer, well, please don't hate me now, but I loved it so much. I know you picked it apart and some are very unhappy with it, to put it mildly. I get you, I really do. But honestly, it's only a trailer. Again, we don't know the full episode yet. So, Anton's hair, I loved it. Vulcan clothes and the swing of the Libra, I loved it. And I think there will be an explanation. And if not, perhaps I won't love it as much this time next year, but we'll see. Thanks guys, live long and prosper and take care.
Excellent approach to new Trek.
Yes, and I gotta say, John, when we first started Open Pike Night, I think in one of the first few episodes you said, hey, even if you hate Strange New Worlds, we want you to call in.
Yeah.
And that remains true, right? Like
Absolutely.
We're not looking for haters, right? We're looking for people with well-considered opinions. And hey, yeah, critiques are great. That's like the core of the Trek fandom. We nitpick stuff, we pull it apart, we point out the parts where we think Trek failed us. And I'm excited that we have a differing of opinions about all of this content that's coming down the pike, because it shows that, you know, like any fandom, the Star Trek fandom is not a monolith. There's not one prevailing opinion. Even like Trev was saying, like a lot of people want Star Trek Legacy, but even that has its folks who are like, I'm okay without it. There's such a diverse array of opinions here, and I'm really glad that we get to be a sounding board for those, and I'm really glad that people feel comfortable enough here to disagree with each other on small things, big things, all that kind of thing, because like Melanie was saying, we're going to give it a shot, right?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like everybody who calls and says like, they're going to watch it. They're still going to watch it.
And we're going to talk about it.
If they didn't care, they wouldn't watch and they wouldn't call. So
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, or maybe they wouldn't show up to record the episode. Oh, let's see who this next caller is.
Oh my God.
Hey everybody, it's Cameron here, and I am sorry I couldn't make it to this discussion. Though, honestly, I don't have a lot of hot takes about this bunch of Trek news, so I just came here to say one thing. Paul OMG Giamatti. I am here for this. The Trek universe is getting such cool actors. Of course, Tig Notaro coming back is amazing, Holly Hunter. But yeah, I mean, Paul Giamatti, this is going to be fantastic. All right, one other thing I'll say is, having said that, I also would have just taken the entire cast of Sky High and put them into Starfleet Academy and just having those teachers teach the next slate of Starfleet cadets would have been amazing. We would have had some kids in the hall, some broken lizards, and of course, grouchy Bruce Campbell teaching Starfleet dodgeball. Yeah. I also would have accepted that 100%. Discuss.
I'm glad that Cam clarified, because I was like, what is Sky High?
Sky High was a superhero high school movie, which if you want to see any of the cast of that in a great sci-fi space show, you can see the actor Stephen Strait, who played War and Peace in The Expanse as the main character James Holden. Check out The Expanse. I never saw Sky High. I just know that he was in that. Yeah.
I don't know if I trust Cam's taste here again, though, John, because I saw him on Twitter this weekend saying he doesn't like Tron and is not excited for the Trent Reznor score for Tron 3. Are you kidding me, Cameron?
What? Yeah. He's always been kind of down on like techno music and Reznor.
Seriously.
And, Gary What's His Butt, who inspired him. Like, yeah, he's always just been kind of like a bubblegum pop type guy. So
seriously.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I just, I can't quite get on that level, Cameron. But
he did. Yeah. He was saying Rollerball is better than Tron, right?
The guy has some out there opinions. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at that. But I am glad to hear your voice, Cameron. I think this might be the first time I've ever heard Cameron as just a caller. And I don't mean like just a caller, right? But
right.
As not sitting across from me in the very exclusive Zoom style meeting that is the Open Pike Night recording studio spanning an entire country.
Yeah, we are thousands of miles apart, aren't we, man? But yeah, I mean, Paul Giamatti, I hope with Giamatti being cast that they do at least one holiday episode of Academy that's just the holdovers, but in Starfleet Academy. And he's like, for some reason, his eye is all wonky in that one episode, If you haven't seen The Holdovers, it's a fantastic movie, fantastic Christmas movie. And Giamatti is amazing in it.
I think the people from my generation are hoping that he gets covered in blue paint at some point. Maybe a
blank check.
Maybe some kind of that Bolian joke. I honestly don't know, John. I just saw a lot of people make jokes about him being blue. It might be Agent Cody Banks.
No, it's some big something.
Frankie Muniz?
Yeah, I thought it was Frankie Muniz.
That's Agent Cody Banks, man.
Is it? Oh, okay.
From what my pop culture head is telling me, I haven't seen that movie, but I seem to remember it being a big deal for a while.
I mean, I think it was a Big Fat Liar. Big Fat Liar was the movie where he gets covered in blue paint.
Oh, okay.
But yes, Frankie Muniz is also in that, I believe. So, yeah.
Point being, my Paul Giamatti, knowledge is lower than I think Cameron's is. But I do like Paul Giamatti and everything I've ever seen him in, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And let me reiterate, Holly freaking Hunter.
Holly freaking Hunter, man. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. She made Batman versus Superman better. I mean, that is an achievement right there.
Dude, she has 4 minutes of screen time in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And she is one of the best characters in the movie.
Yeah. All right. And then, of course, we got the Strange New World Season 3 clip, which we have covered here. We did an exclusive little episode a couple episodes back talking about the Strange New World Season 3 clip. But like people have said in their calls, it's a divisive clip. And we definitely recommend you go back and listen to our episode on that. And like Cam said, it's the first and only new Strange New Worlds content we've gotten in over a year, and we'll get for almost another year. So we'll take it. We will take it.
And we will talk about it.
Yes, we will. To death. But we do have another caller, our good buddy Zoe.
Open Pike Night. This is the USS Cinema. Zoe Richardson, Captain Commanding, also host of Backlook Cinema, the podcast. So there are a lot of things to be excited about this new, I guess, era or season of Star Trek that's about to be laid upon us. So it's kind of a bittersweet because I'm really sad for the last season of Lower Decks. It was one of my favorite shows, and I'm really sad to see it go. I can't wait to see what they have for their final season, but I just kind of wish that it wasn't. And I realize that there is a live action comedy show that they're going to pull out, I guess, in a coming couple of years, but I really wish that we didn't have to lose Lower Decks. But on the other hand, I am obviously excited about the new season of Strange New Worlds, and they're going to have Cillian O'Sullivan as Dr. Corby. I was curious if they was going to have Dr. Corby show up in Strange New Worlds, and it looks like they're going to do it. He looks like Well, Cillian, the actor, looks a little young to play Dr. Corby. We'll see how that plays out. I'm also excited about the Section 31 TV movie. I'm very interested in Starfleet Academy with Holly Hunter stepping in. She's going to be stepping her toe in the Star Trek universe, and it looks like we're going to get Paul Giamatti as a Klingon adversary. We'll see what happens. Richardson out.
Well, Richardson, it's good to hear you got your ship working again, because I remember last time, didn't his ship break down and his crew was helping him work on it?
It was, and as always, Zoe brings not only the production value, but the great thoughts and questions about what we are talking about. I have to agree 100% on Lower Decks. Like, John, I'll admit, the first time that you talked about the Protector, Friend, and Guide trailer, I was like, I didn't see that trailer because it was before I was born, but I believe you.
Yeah.
I fully believe that it was meaningful. And then they did the same thing with the Lower Decks teaser.
Same thing with Lower Decks.
And I was like, oh, wow. Okay, this is affecting me emotionally. I can only imagine what it must have felt like with the actual original series crew. And it works. And like going back to what we were talking about earlier, this is how you do a trailer. This is how you do a teaser. You get somebody with a deep voice to give gravitas to a thing, whether it needs it or not. Like, I am very excited for this season of Lower Decks. I'm definitely bummed that it is going to be the last season. And a big part of that for me is that Lower Decks felt like the stalwart, right? Like, okay, whatever happens, there's going to be another Lower Decks next year. So that's great. And, we're not going to wait 18 months between seasons or 2 years between seasons. It's going to be out next year, and it's going to be awesome. It'll be a good summer thing. And now that's going away. And it's like, man, the wait between Trek series is going to get longer. And yes, we were spoiled with having, 5 Trek shows on TV simultaneously?
Yeah.
Like, yes, we were spoiled. And
come Christmas Day, there will only be Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. So I'm bumming on that. But I'm really excited to see what Lower Decks has put together. It sounds like the team knew far enough in advance that this was going to be their last season that they were able to incorporate that into their storytelling, which Discovery also did, but they found out after they had finished it. So not in a bad way, but it was definitely tacked on, right?
Oh yeah,
they were told, here's some money, go shoot some scenes, do whatever you need to do. Yes. And I think they did a good job with those scenes, but you can tell where they got added. So I'm interested to see what a Trek show that knows that it's ending looks like, and not in the way that season 7 of TNG works out. I will go on record and say TNG might have the best TV series finale of any show.
It's a good finale.
It's got to be top 10 at least. It's just really well done. So I'm interested to see what Lower Decks does. I got to imagine there's going to be some callbacks to that. Probably. It looks like they're going to be calling back to Enterprise with a couple of scenes.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
They know their Trek, and I am also deeply bummed to see that go. But again, it's not like Tawny Newsome is going anywhere in the world of Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I think we are incredibly lucky as fans for that, at least.
Yeah, and it is, like you said, this next, we are kind of going into new Trek phase 2 now. I mean, it feels like a little bit of this really is with the ending, with the shedding of Prodigy, the ending of Lower Decks, Picard and Discovery in the rearview mirror. It's this is kind of that transition into a new phase of this current era, and which is how we have to look at all major media nowadays, is what phase are we in? And it's going to be, watching that last season, and especially the last episode, I'm sure going to be pretty emotional for the comedy animated Star Trek show that everybody 5 years ago was like, a comedy animated Star Trek show, and which personally I think some of the, there's definitely one episode that's in my top 5 of all 900 Star Trek episodes. One of those is a Lower Decks episode. Wedge Douche is almost a perfect, it's a perfect episode, I think.
Yep.
And so, it's going to be bittersweet for sure, but man, talk about a show that has fired on all cylinders every season. And I mean, maybe not entirely perfect every time, but any missteps are very far between and hard to see, especially once you look at the crossover from Strange New Worlds also just tearing our hearts out. So it'll be sad to see it go, but man, what they're leaving behind is fantastic.
Yeah. And like, I think a big thing for me that covers up any, like, I don't know if I would even call them blemishes, but like moments in Lower Decks where I wasn't like super engaged with the story, still laughing my ass off. Yeah. Felt absolutely catered to, you know, and I'm sad to see that go. But like with Metalis and the Vision show, Star Trek is getting people jobs. Mike McMahon is working on a freaking adaptation of Golden Axe, the arcade game. Like, I don't have any idea how to feel about that other than excited, right? Because
that's gonna be fun.
I implicitly trust Mike McMahon because I have loved Lower Decks all the way through. And last thing I'll say, Zoe, this actor that they got to play Dr. Roger Corby, I saw a side-by-side of him with the original actor Michael Strong, and like I think they have nailed it yet again in their casting, just based purely on looks, right? Like I'm sure the guy can act, but I'll have to wait to see that part of it. So right now, I'm just going to be optimistic.
Yeah, and I mean, that brings us to our last call, our good and dear friend, Marcy.
Hey, Open Pike Night, it's Marcy from Idle Ride. I'm really excited to talk about the new news. Let's get started with the Strange New Worlds clip, which basically has the entire crew turning into Vulcans. Yes, please. Love it. Can't get enough of it. And then let's move on to Section 31 trailer. Does Sam Richardson have some yellow fucking eyes? Is he like my new Data? Is he my new funny Data with emotions for Section 31? Also, Michelle Yeoh. You can't miss it. She's number one in my heart and my eyes, and everything about Star Trek is embodied in Michelle Yeoh and Giorgio. We also have the announcement of a new live action show that's a comedy series. I think this is a good idea. Lower Decks was amazing, so I'm hopeful that the new live action, potentially it sounds like reality show in the future, sounds fucking amazing. And then finally, Starfleet Academy casting. All I have to say is Holly Hunter. I mean, come on, she's amazing. She's quirky. Everything about all this news is just filling me with joy. All right, thanks. Bye.
Always so good to hear from Marcy. Really, it is.
Always. And again, if you haven't listened to Green Shirt, early seasons of Green Shirt, check out Idle Ride, her podcast right now. She's covering the Fallout series, including the video games. Trev's show, Failure to Franchise, I am loving. And Trev, you know, he may have been critical of some of this stuff, but that's because he loves Star Trek, and you'll know it because he shoehorns in at the smallest chance he gets. He will mention that someone or something has to do with Star Trek, no matter what movie they're talking about on there. And Zoe with Backlook Cinema. I mean, we have had some great fellow podcasters calling in tonight, and we appreciate each one of them.
We really have. And like, you guys know me. I'm on record as having never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender. I also did not watch the live action version, but guess what? I listened to every single Idle Ride episode covering it because I knew it would come from a place of love and a place of hopeless dedication to the source material that I just can't get over. Like, that's why we listen to podcasts, right? We want to hear people talk about the things that they love. And I think, honestly, for me, that's probably why you don't hear a ton of criticisms out of me on a lot of Star Trek stuff, because it's like, you can get that anywhere. Like, you can go online and see that. You can listen to 100 shows and hear the same criticisms over and over. And it's not that there's no place for that. It's just that I am here to be happy about the things that I like, right? Like, I'm not disregarding problematic elements of the show or shows or movies or series or anything like that, because that's all part and parcel of consuming art. But I don't tend to give a lot of air to it, mostly because I don't want to bum myself out. I just want to be having fun with Star Trek, and Star Trek is definitely like an escape for me, right?
It is. It's. I mean, if we, I have looked at it as somebody in the elder millennial group and somebody in my early 40s. Like, yeah, you know what? There's stuff I watched as a kid that nowadays is like, no, this would never get aired, but I do still enjoy it. And it's like, look, I get it. I understand. I acknowledge. But I also, I'm not going to hate or disgruntle myself into a corner of not being able to be entertained by anything.
Yeah.
But also I've criticized Strange New Worlds. I criticized an episode where we then talked to the writer about it, and I was like, ooh, what did I say about that episode? I was like, that wasn't, they're not all perfect. So.
Well, and thankfully they get it. Like, the people making art get it. They know.
Yeah.
Like, they can only get through so much of their own vision into this thing. And like David Reed was saying, a big part of writing on a show is emulating the showrunner's style. You want it to sound like them, right? That's part of your job. So, like I said, fully here for criticism, happy to talk critiques with folks. What I cannot get behind is like, these showrunners suck. These showrunners are idiots. They don't understand this. And it's like, they do. They're making a conscious choice to either disregard that. Yeah, like there's a lot of decisions happening, and you're not going to agree with every decision, and neither am I. And that's the beautiful thing about Open Pike Night, is we all get to share our voices and our opinions on that. So yes, if you want to talk criticisms, we can do that. I am very excited to see what people think about all this upcoming Star Trek, even the stuff that they don't like. So if you're feeling, out there going, well, I don't want to call in because I feel like I might be a bummer, just toss that, man.
Yeah.
We're ready to hear from you. We want to know why you feel that way. We want to know what it is that you do love about Star Trek and what's keeping you from loving the things that you love as fully as you possibly can. That's kind of important to us.
Absolutely. And we can, offer suggestions on how to get over it, or just be like, yep, I get it, man. There's sometimes it's hard when things change all the time, when there are 900 episodes of something. It would be insane if you loved every single one.
It really would.
Ooh, you might want to form some opinions, man. And you gotta hate some of these. You gotta
stop.
Be like Bobby Blue.
It.
Yeah.
Bobby Blue.
But
she likes it. She just can't bring herself to objectively rate anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I love about Bobby, by the way.
Yeah. I'll give a little teaser. There's an episode of Green Shirt, Newbie's Trek to the Next Generation coming up that we all rated very low, that is much lower than IMDb and other people rated it. So,
ooh.
Yeah. It was, I'm curious to hear what people think when that one comes out, because when we looked up the community score, it's like, ooh, we were nowhere near that one. And it was pretty universal for the Green Shirt crew. Like, no.
Interesting.
But for Open Pike Night coming up, we still have, almost a year until we get more Strange New Worlds episodes. So what are we going to be doing until then, you might ask? Well, obviously, as we get interviews with writers, creators, performers, we're going to be doing interviews. But, it's pretty hard to sustain just with that. So we are going to finally cover Discovery Season 2 and look back on the introduction of Pike and Spock and Una into this universe.
Because we wish we were watching what they're doing right now. And we can't do that. So we want to look back at where this iteration of these three characters came from and see, was this all here in the beginning? Is this something they decided to build on? That kind of a thing. And also, I know Cam's not a huge fan of Season 2, so I think that's going to provide even more entertainment.
I think it's going to be fun.
But on top of that, we are going to continue also looking at original series episodes that we think may end up having relevance in Season 3. For example, the Dr. Roger Corby episode, as we had briefly discussed earlier. We should probably go ahead and watch that now that we know that Roger Corby is going to be in this. So look out for coverage of What Are Little Girls Made Of at some point in the near future from Open Pike Night. And come on.
Yeah, I should.
We've been
definitely go back and watch that episode for the first time ever.
And I know We've been giving him a hard time because he has weird taste in everything. But Cameron did suggest and does love a good holiday episode. And that's one thing I can agree with him on. I do also love holiday episodes. So, John, what's the next big holiday coming up here? Would that be?
I mean, Labor Day, but I mean, it's already kind of like everybody's part of a union there. So I guess after that would be Halloween.
Ooh. I like Halloween. Cameron likes Halloween. John likes Halloween. I mean, who doesn't like Halloween? Let's be real.
Right? Yeah.
So, if you have suggestions for a Halloween episode, we'd love to hear them. Obviously, we're fully capable of coming up with that on our own. The point is that there just might be too many ideas for a Halloween episode on this end. But definitely know that we are planning that. We'll probably also have a holiday episode toward the end of the year. I mean, heck, maybe Christina Chong will have new Christmas music this year. There's no way to know.
Yeah.
There's no way to know. The point is, as our good friends at It's Got Star Trek have said in the past, Open Pike Night will not lay fallow just because Strange New Worlds is not currently on the air.
Yes. We are I mean, I'll just say it. I'm not trying to become a watch every episode of Star Trek and review it show. There are lots of watch every episode of Star Trek and review them, including It's Got Star Trek, who just did coverage of Hard Time, which is an insanely good episode of Deep Space Nine. Definitely gut punch after gut punch, so I enjoyed listening to their coverage of that. But we do like doing what we do. We do this because we enjoy chatting with each other and hearing from the community. So keep calling in, and we'll keep chatting. We will definitely, as long as I'm going to assume right now that we're going to get screeners for Lower Decks, so we will have some bonus coverage, something like that to do. Some patrons, some public, who knows, as that comes out starting in October. But Open Pike's not going anywhere. We're sticking around until Strange New Worlds Season 3 comes out. Then we're leaving right at the beginning of Season 3.
Yeah, then we're done.
Yeah, off the air, dead air.
I'll put it out there just in case anybody is worried. If John and Cameron ever leave me, I will just start another Star Trek podcast. And if that goes out of business, I'll start another Star Trek podcast. Yeah. And if that goes out of business, I'll start another Star Trek podcast.
You could do 9 Star Trek podcasts and do 100 episodes each and still have Star Trek to talk about afterwards. So, yeah. We are 76 episodes into a 20-episode show, and we're going strong. So, it's been a long summer, and fall's here. Like, it's starting to finally cool down a little bit. So hopefully as we get into fall time, we'll enjoy watching Disco Season 2, looking for more interviews from the show, maybe getting a couple special interview guests. You never know. You just have to listen up. Check all our socials at Open Pike. Check all our social media accounts. They're all pretty much Open Pike, right, Jesse?
Yep. And you can also get subscribed to our free newsletter at openpike.substack.com. But if you're getting tired of remembering all these different domains and stuff, just go to openpike.com. Everything is right there in one place. There's links to everything. You can become a patron. You can buy merchandise. People are really, really liking our I Fly the Ship shirt, which I got to say felt like a no-brainer. I don't know how it took us that long.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone, for your patience with us. And thank you, obviously, to all of our Patreon supporters. I heard you may want to try subscribing through the website directly and not the Apple Store, because there's a 30% cut that Apple will take from that.
Subscribe directly on Patreon, please. Don't subscribe through Apple. But especially our 25-minute set supporters, Mark, Pam, and Steve, we couldn't do what we do without our supporters and our listeners. And we love you guys. We love Star Trek. We love you guys. And we love Strange New Worlds. We cannot wait to see it, but we have to. So we got to go. Open Pike Night crew has to go blow the dust off of our Paramount Plus subscription. That doesn't work for old seasons of stuff, as well as blow the dust off our DVDs of Discovery Season 2. But I got to go catch back up because, man, I haven't watched Discovery Season 2 in quite a while.
And let me tell you, it is thick. Like,
Yeah.
you want to talk exposition? Disco S2 has some exposition.
You think we talk a lot? Just wait till you
Seriously.
watch Disco Season 2 again. So, be sure to clean up after yourselves. Be sure to tip your servers. You can go anywhere you want, but you can't stay here.
Oh, hey, Cameron, why don't you check out a little movie called Tremors? I think you might like it if you would just give it a shot.